whatever feeds your soul is why you're here. Like,
and it breeds confidence. It goes back to our topic. When you find that thing that puts you in flow state and you do it effortlessly, that makes you feel good. You know what I mean? Because so many people are lost and don't know what that flow state is, and that'll make you feel insecure. Like, I feel like people struggle with insecurities because they don't know what their thing is yet.
hi, I'm D.
And I'm G,
And this is Tea with D and G.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay, guys, so today we have some tea for you. The tea is too hot, I would say.
Very hot. Yeah, it actually is really hot.
Yeah, we just brewed it, so.
Figuratively and literally.
Oh, literally, yeah, both.
This boy always gotta be in the video.
Theodore just can't not be next to us. He's obsessed, and it's okay. We love him. We love him. He's a good boy.
So the tea is hot.
The tea's hot. We have some tea to share to you guys today, just about confidence and just kind of the direction that women are in currently. Like, I feel like we've kind of talked about this a little bit, about how there's so much masculine energy. Like, we live in a society that's very imbalanced and it's masculine, like very egotistical, very just like analytical, left brain thinking, which is the masculine energy. And so I think because of that, it's distorted like how women feel about themselves and how they project their insecurities and how they try to make up for those insecurities and things like this. And so yeah, we just want to talk a little bit about confidence and what that means to us, and yeah, so
I don't even know where to start because I feel like I have so much to say about this topic.
Let's start with, what do you think confidence means? What's confidence to you?
Confidence to me is like, I've struggled with so many like physical insecurities, like outside insecurities for so long in my life that my confidence has always come from within. And I know that sounds like really cliche and like whatever, but I feel like the more I learn and know about myself, that's what brings me confidence, because I'm able to like, I don't know, just walk into a room and feel like I'm that girl, but not because of how I look or how I'm dressed, but because I know like whoever I talk to in here, I'm going to be able to connect with them, communicate properly. Like, I know they're going to be able to relate to me in some way. Like, I just know who I am inside. So like that brings me confidence, you know?
I agree. I think confidence to me is a very similar thing, like just self-love. I've also struggled with a lot of things about not being confident in a lot of ways. You know, we all have flaws and we all have things about ourselves that we don't love and that we wish we could change.
What's your biggest insecurity? Should we talk about it?
Sure, yeah. I would say my acne for sure.
Same. My skin.
My skin, yeah, because I have like psoriasis, eczema as well. And when I have eczema, it only happens like once a year. Sometimes it doesn't happen. It didn't happen this year. It'll happen usually in the springtime. And I get a full body rash and it stays there for like 3 months. It's awful.
I remember that one time you got it.
It's really bad. Yeah. It's not cute and it's very, very embarrassing. And I'm 27 years old and I still have breakouts on the regular.
I would say my skin for sure. I had really bad cystic acne in high school that it's not cystic anymore, but I do have very sensitive skin. So when I do break out, I scar so easily. Like, my hyperpigmentation is just like, I hate it. I'm working on it, and there's times where my skin will look really bright and healthy and clean, and then I'll get one breakout and it's like a scar all over again. And I also have, I think, I haven't been like diagnosed for sure, but the only thing that I can like really come down to is alopecia, because I know it runs in my family. My grandma has it, I think. And so yeah, I lost my lashes when like senior year in high school. Like, they just started falling out and I didn't know what. I thought it was from my acne medication. I literally thought it was from like, because they put me on some stuff and I was like, did I have an allergic reaction? Like, what happened? And I just ruled it out to alopecia. I don't know, it just made sense to me.
Yeah, you said it's spreading up to your eyebrows.
So it's low-key like spreading up to my eyebrows, which that just started happening, which is crazy. And I feel like it's important for me, as hard as this is to say right now, because I feel like as a model, right, I put myself on this pedestal, and like models these days, everything is about perfection these days. How can I perfect myself? How can I get rid of the wrinkles, the this, the that, the this, which is fine. The tweaks, whatever. But when it comes from a place of like, I don't know, like you don't love yourself without it, if that makes sense. Like I had to really like fall in love with myself without lashes for me to stay confident in myself. Like I was like, I want to be like, I want to accept my flaws. I don't want to like go get work done or do something just to like overcompensate that I'm insecure about them. So yeah, I just
and not to say that we're not against like that we're I mean that we are against and self-improvement.
Yeah, no,
because
not at all.
when we're in our bag, bet like we're gonna get tits, we're gonna have all the facials that keep our skin clear and like, you know, just things like that. I definitely want a little under eye filler and like little things here and there. But I think what we're more like expressing is just like really changing yourself to love yourself more.
Yeah, from the inside out.
Because like, yeah, at the end of the day, you are not gonna love yourself more just because you look different. You have to love yourself from the inside, and then, you know, once you already do, if you decide to make tweaks and changes, you're just gonna be even that more confident. Like if you already have confidence in your own skin, then once you are on the level where you can start doing those things and like you want to, then it's just gonna improve your confidence and you're just gonna feel even better about yourself than before. But I think like a lot of people seek just others' approval and
external validation. It's a drug. Like getting that like and that follow and all that stuff on social media, it's a dopamine hit. It's a rush, you know, and it becomes a drug, and I fall victim to it. I've been modeling since 2015, like years, you know, and like I got caught up in it to the point where it was like that was the only way I knew how to validate myself. If I'm sad, I'm about to drop a picture. If I'm mad, I'm about to drop. I need somebody to validate me and tell me I'm pretty. Like I got so addicted to that to the point where like without it, I didn't know who I was. Like I was just like, do I love myself or do I want everybody else to love me? Like it got really bad, honestly, and I had to take like a social media break and like really like go within and have that ego death. Like it really like gets to your ego and you get so caught up in your external self and you start forgetting about your soul. And
I think that's a very like good explanation for society as a whole right now. Like that's kind of what society as a whole is feeling, because we are feeding our egos so much. Like everything is feeding our ego, so we're so stuck in the ego, which is the masculine energy, which is that left side of your brain. And it's like those things, like you only, when you're in that line of thinking, you only know what you've experienced. And like we've talked about this before, but it's like you really lose touch with your soul, with your purpose, with what your real self-love, with that unconditional love, because that's all on the right side of your brain. And the left and the right side have to like, you have to, okay, there's a book called Thinking Fast and Slow. It's really, really great. I think it's a Daniel Kahneman. It's a white book and it has a pencil on it.
Oh, okay.
Thinking Fast and Slow. It's a really great book, but it explains basically that there are two systems when it comes to thinking. System 1 and System 2. And really, the systems are the left brain and the right brain, like systems. But basically what he explains is that most people are stuck in System 1. So they're taking in the experience, they're processing it back based on past experiences in their left brain, they're analyzing it, and then they're reacting to just the analyzation of what they already know to be true. And it's easier to do it that way. That's what the book explains. Like it tells you how much easier and more natural it is to just input, output. And if you do that, if you're in a constant, you know, state of doing that, then that's constantly how you're going to be reacting. However, true, like, you know, intentional reactions come from slowing down, allowing yourself to question why you're thinking this way, or, you know, really analyzing the input rather than just outputting. Take that extra step to analyze the input and like really feel it and understand it. Take it from a bigger picture.
Ask yourself questions. I feel like asking yourself questions when you feel something is so important. Like, I don't know, and just like you said, like being intentional about what you're doing, like instead of just being so impulsive. I feel like there's intention and then there's impulsive, and like I feel like everybody's a lot more impulsive these days. No one's like slowing down, and that brings us back to like young girls, allow yourself to develop naturally and not rush, you know, your journey and try to like perfect yourself and change yourself right away because it's impulsive. It's coming from a place, you know, you want to check where it's coming from.
And nobody knows themselves in their early 20s. Like, you don't know yourself.
Exactly.
You just don't know yet.
And we're not saying, like, don't, like you said, make any enhancements later on, but we're both just now thinking about getting filler, getting boobs. That's 26 and 27 years old. Whereas, like, I'm seeing girls, no offense, but I'm seeing girls get BBLs at 20, you know? And, like, I'm like, what? Like,
we also live in Vegas.
Yeah,
I've lived in LA. Like, I know this isn't going to resonate with everyone, but, like, you guys see this stuff online, and, like, you know what it is.
We're not saying not to do it. We're just saying, like, take your time and just be intentional about it, and make sure it's coming from a place of, like, I love myself already. I just want to enhance this about me. Like, not I hate myself and I need someone to validate me, so I'm gonna go get my body done. Everything's about intention. Do it with good intention. Do it from a place of, like, I feel good, but some titties would make me feel better, you know? Like, not, oh, I feel horrible, maybe getting titties would, like, make me feel, you know? You have to do it with good intention.
I agree. Like, I think it comes from not knowing yourself, and then it's like, okay, you do all of these things in your early 20s, and you change the way you look, and you look super, super hot to, like, the standard of hotness, you know, of social media, whatever your standard is, you know? Right. And then you grow, and you start learning more things about yourself, and once you finally know yourself, I just feel like you have to look back, and you have to look in the mirror and be like, wow, like, I made these decisions when I wasn't fully aware of myself and, like, who I desire to be and, like, what foot I want to put forward, you know? Like, it takes time. And in your 20s, and I mean, this relates to a lot of concepts in life, not just changing your body.
I was going to say tattoos for me. Like, I feel like I jumped the gun really early with getting tattoos, and luckily I've found people who will cover up and touch up and do things to make everything run smoothly. But even with just that, like tattoos and stuff, like, it is permanent. And I hate to be that cliche bitch right now, but just learning from me, like, I definitely wish I would have waited a little bit and gone to maybe a different artist or put something somewhere else, or, like, you know, making those decisions young. You gotta, I really applaud people when I see them and they're, like, clean, like, no tattoos, or, like,
I know,
no, like, I'm
dude,
like,
Natalie's 29, she has no tattoos.
I know, I'm like, damn, like, I love that, you know, like, and I really admire that. So take your time. Like you said, it goes with everything. Like, not just changing your body. It could be tattoos. It could be,
and it goes with relationships too. I feel like
take your time.
People, you just think, okay, I think here's what it is, really, is that you turn 18 and you've been waiting your whole life to turn 18. And so you think, like, once you're 18, you're an adult and you can just do all these things, and, like, you're just supposed to be this adult. But, like, you're not an adult yet. Like, you don't know how to be an adult because you haven't lived adult life yet, and you haven't figured out yourself, and you haven't figured out where you're going. So you make these crazy decisions and you do all these things in your early 20s, as you should, and you fail and you fall and you do these things, but all of that you experience is, you know, just teaching you more about yourself. And you have to figure out what you like by figuring out what you don't like. Like, that's just how the game of life works. And so, like, you just think you know so much and that you're so grown once you turn 20, like, and you're in your early 20s, but, like, you're not. And you don't know, and you just don't.
I thought I knew everything. Bro, when I was 21, I thought I knew like, as soon as I hit, like, 18, 20, like,
that's what I'm saying. When you're that
18
age,
to 21, like, especially, okay, I'm about to out myself real quick, but no, it's not really outing. I've recently attracted a lot of people younger than me in my life, like friends, whatever.
Same.
And I just see so much, and I'm learning so much from them. But it's like, damn, like, we really think we got it all figured out at that age. And then, like, being this age, I'm like, jeez, little do you know.
I think the older you get, if you're the type of person that, you know, is always learning, always growing, always trying to better yourself, like, if you're on that path, I think the older that you get, the more you realize that you don't know. Yeah. And I've heard this before.
Erykah Badu says, she says, a man who knows everything knows that he knows nothing at all.
Yes. And that, I was just about to say the exact same thing. That's exactly what I was getting to. Like, the smartest person in the room will always tell you that there's stuff that they don't know.
I don't know shit.
And
I'm just out here living and learning from experience and sharing my experience. I don't know.
I feel like there's so much, and I have literally taking the time to like sit down and study so much like philosophy, just like ancient you know, religions and cultures and stuff like that, because that's just what interests me. I want to know like why we're here, like what is our purpose, what like, because I mean, you know, I don't know if we've talked about this, but I definitely have like suicidal thoughts and like heavy depression. And so what helps me heal that, and what, you know, gives me reason to move forward, to me, is just reading other people's perspectives of like what they think life is about, and like why they think we're here. And I think the more perspectives of that you read, like all the different religious texts, all the different like
people
ancient cultures,
open to listening anymore and learning from other people. Everybody's like very I don't know, just self-indulging, and like they just want to talk about them. It's rare that you're like sitting and listening to people these days. But younger, like I said, younger. Because I just feel like you don't want to listen to nobody.
I agree.
Like looking back, like every person I didn't want to listen to when I was younger, I'd be like, damn, I get it now. Like I should have listened. I should have.
It's just when you're that age, you just think you're on top of the world. Like you really do. Like you have so much freedom for the first time in your life, and like you just think you know everything, and it's just such a time to be. And like it was so beautiful to be that young, and like it's so fun. It's so fun to be ignorant.
It's crazy, and like being out now and seeing like the younger people, and I'm just like, wow, what a time. Like what a time that I kind of took for granted and like wasn't very in the moment, you know? Like I just look back and I'm like, no regrets, but just like, wow, what a time, you know? Like I just
and I think that's another thing too, is just like not having regrets and not not taking yourself too seriously. I think that's the main thing. Like people go through stuff and then they have all this regret and self-hatred, and they let it pile up, and then they try to mask it, and they try to overcompensate, and it's like, forgive yourself. Like just don't take yourself so seriously. And I've had many DMT trips that have like given me that message, because I'll go into DMT trips and like deep psychedelic trips with like huge intention, you know? And I always want to like get something out of it, and like I'm always seeking guidance in a certain direction, you know? When I do these things, I'm not just doing them like recreationally for fun. Not that I don't, but like DMT, it's not really like a fun drug, you know? Like, and like you're not even in your body. But anyways, I've had multiple trips where I've like really needed guidance towards something, and really just needed direction, and really put that as my intention of the trip. And then I get sent to like, I don't know if you guys have heard of like the Joker world or whatever.
Tell me about this. That was crazy.
Like where it's like a humility realm of DMT, where they're like laughing at you. They're like, it's a joke, like nothing serious, everything, like they're I don't know how to really fully explain it, and I've asked a lot of people, so if you have any advice about like what this really means, please share below, because I'm very interested in it.
They don't want you to take life too seriously.
But it is, and that's kind of what I've gotten from it, and kind of what I've read about it. When you get sent there, it's like, you're trying too hard. Like you're trying to take this way too seriously.
You know what? That is one of the biggest things I'm noticing on social media as someone who's been content creating for so long. A lot of people are trying way too hard, and you know, we talked about this with the law of least effort. Like I don't know, the more confident I feel like you are in yourself, the less you have to try. Like how they say, like, the most insecure person in the room is always the loudest, like, and the most confident is always the observer. Like, I don't know, I feel like that way about social media now too, and just society as a whole.
I agree.
Like the most insecure people are the ones who are like trying really hard, or like, you know, like you could just feel it. You can feel when someone's like really trying to be something versus just like,
it's authentic
and real.
And I think that's something really cool about us, like, just to brag on ourselves for a moment. Like we don't really script anything when we talk to you guys. We like, like 5 minutes before we do every talking video, we literally just say, okay, let's talk about this, and we'll have like one subject. Like our subject today was confidence, like, you know. And so it's cool when you're doing something that you really enjoy doing and that you feel a calling towards, and it flows effortlessly. When you get into flow state with something, if that's something that happens to you when you're doing any of your hobbies or any of the things that you do, that's what you should be doing. Like, that's what's feeding your soul. And I'm not saying, you know, that has to be your career. I'm just saying you need to be doing it at least a couple times a week, because that's feeding your soul. If your career is a different path, you know, like, that's fine.
Yeah.
But whatever feeds your soul is why you're here. Like,
and it breeds confidence. It goes back to our topic. When you find that thing that puts you in flow state and you do it effortlessly, that makes you feel good. You know what I mean? Because so many people are lost and don't know what that flow state is, and that'll make you feel insecure. Like, I feel like people struggle with insecurities because they don't know what their thing is yet. But when you find that thing,
I've been so insecure about that for so long.
I feel like we were both like really like going
so
through
insecure, like,
and we're finally like gaining our confidence fully back again without validation from men and relationships. We're finding our inner confidence because we are in flow state doing the thing that like
we love to do, and it is feeding our soul, and it is coming naturally to us, and it's such a beautiful journey to be on. And I've been so insecure about being 27 and like not knowing what I want to do.
Yeah.
And like every job I've ever worked, like I'm good at things that I do. That's another issue too. It's like it's hard to figure out what you want to do
when you're good at
a lot of things. And I'm not trying to like be egotistical in any way. I'm just saying I'm a very quick learner, and if I put my mind to it, I can be good at it. Like, all it takes is a couple weeks of practice for me at anything I've ever done, and I can get better at it, and I usually end up being pretty good at things.
Facts.
But that's also just because I'm a dedicated person, and I'm a hard worker, so it's not like it comes effortlessly.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, I've always been that way. I've been good at school, I've been good at work, and stuff like that. And it's hard, though, to find your path and to find your purpose when you're good at a lot of things, because you're like,
it feels like you're a jack of all trades but a master of none. Like, you don't know what that one thing is. You're like so good at everything, but you can't find that one thing.
But nothing has been feeding my soul. It's like I can get so good at things, and I get really excited about them too, because I'm like, wow, I'm really good at this. Like, this could be it. Like, you know.
Oh, I've had so many this could be it moments.
Yes. And then like right after I feel that way about it,
it's over.
It's over.
Bro, that was me. I've tried so many different things, like so many different avenues, and like I always end up back here on YouTube, but like I've tried so many other things where I'm just like, I started it and I'm like, I thought it was gonna be lit, and now I'm like, this ain't it. Like,
no.
Yeah.
But like what we want to do with like bringing people together and having like a storefront and just like creating an event space for people to come and heal. She wants to do Reiki. I want to, you know, just do the aesthetics of the store. I want to be the event person. I want to be the person that, you know, books talent and artists. And we have so many friends who are talented artists, and I want to book speakers and just everything, and have people together just to like heal in many different ways, do breath work together, you know, sound healing baths together, and just stuff like that. And I think when you have a vision like that, so I was saying, when you have a vision like that where your ultimate goal is to help others in any way that you can, like whatever your talent is, I think that's the most rewarding path to walk. And yeah, I mean, that's our vision. So I think it's really beautiful also that we do have such a strong vision, and I think that does allow us to get into flow state better, and just like, I think once you set your sights in front of you and you don't worry about the mechanics of it so much, it's easy to get to your end goal, because we just have so much faith, and we're able to surrender and really just let things flow to us and through us, and just have faith in what's being said and what's being brought to the forefront of our minds. So
I completely agree.
Yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful journey. I'm excited.
Question.
Yeah, what's your question?
Could be answered. If you had to give advice to like your younger self, or like about confidence, or just what do you think you would tell your younger self, or just someone out there who's like young, struggling to like love themselves and like find their self-confidence?
I think, I mean, we kind of already said it, but I think finding an outlet, like find something that sparks your joy, that allows you to get into flow state, and harness that, whether that's the only thing that you're doing. I mean, like Alex Cooper, the girl who does Call Her Daddy, if you know her, she talks about how when she was younger, she was bullied very heavily, and she was a nerd. Her dad worked in editing and some type of TV or sports editing. I think it was sports editing. So she already had a lot of the, you know, back, like she used to go to work with her dad and stuff, so she would see him working, and then so she started just creating videos in her basement and editing them herself, and she's been doing this since she was so young, and like now she's Alex Cooper. Like now she's running the #1 podcast in the world. And it's like maybe when you're young, you're not going to understand that honing that talent, you're going to feel isolated probably, and you're going to feel alone. If you can find people to do it with, if it's a talent that you can do with other people, then do that. Yeah. Because you will relate to those people who have similar interests to you, and that's how you find your people, you know? You got to start doing things that really sparks your soul, and once you do those things, you'll attract your tribe. Like your vibe attracts your tribe. So if you're living your truth and you're, you know, implementing whatever makes you happy, I think you'll find people that you relate to. And I think that's another big part of gaining confidence, is finding people you relate to.
Yeah, I have always felt really left out in my life, and just felt like I haven't really been able to relate to people. And a lot of that, I'll hold myself accountable and say it's because I wasn't living in my truth and attracting the right people. But that definitely made me feel really insecure, just feeling like I didn't connect with people well.
I honestly had the same issue growing up. Like, I felt like I was always, because I grew up in Ohio in a small town, and people are, I mean, more people are like those type of people in America than how we are, you know. But I just always felt like I stood out because I didn't see the world the way that they did, and I didn't have the same goals or aspirations that they did. And I also just, I wasn't so worried about the things that they were worried about. Like, I just remember growing up, and I was friends with kind of everyone. Like, I was friends with like the popular group in school, but I never felt like great around them. And like, not to say all of them, like there are some of them that I still keep up with today, you know, but at the end of the day, like back then, I just never really felt like they saw me for me, and like I had to be somebody else around them.
Exactly how I felt growing up in Vegas, being a spiritual little being, little fairy alien, and all these, everyone, I don't even say girls, guys, girls, whatever, were just on a vibe that I just was like,
the girls mainly for me, like I got along with a lot of guys when I was younger.
I had guy friends, no problem.
Me too.
That's low-key my problem now. It's like I like male energy.
I like male energy too.
Females, I'm not gonna say people don't like that word, but women in our society, it's
girls,
a little hard.
Young girls
young
are mean.
Girls.
I was mean.
Yeah, I was
mean.
a little mean too.
I was
but
mean
then
in
I
middle
started
school.
getting bullied myself, and then I just thought, I was like, I'm not. I can't, like, no, what's it is, ain't it?
Yeah, I just think, I don't know, I never really, and I did, when I moved to Cincinnati for college, I met some people, that I can relate to, and that I felt a little bit more seen with, but until I moved to Vegas, and, like, found my spiritual community, and found people who really see through the same lenses that I see through, I was really not confident in, like, what I believed, or like how I felt,
you have nobody
or like
else around you like agreeing with you or validating these things and feelings and experiences. You're around people who are like, "Fuck, she's going through," you know. I just feel like,
yeah, what? They all did too. Everybody always looked at me so like what? Like, and I just remember I don't know. I just never really felt comfortable in my truth. I never felt like I could speak and say what I felt and be heard.
I agree.
And then I moved here and I met people like you and, you know, Natalie.
I wanted to make one point though. When you said the advice you would give was to find a creative outlet. Creativity comes from the same chakra as your sexual energy, so your sacral chakra. So if you're struggling with hypersexuality, if you feel like you always want to, you know, get it in, and you're chasing boys or chasing girls or whatever that is, that will really help balance that out, because I feel like women these days, we are really struggling with hypersexuality. Majority of content on social media is everybody showing their ass and titties, which is fine. I admire it, you know, but there's balance in everything, and if you're leaning too far into your hypersexuality, you're going to be attracting some not so great energy. So I agree with like finding something to as an outlet like this, you know what I mean? Because both of us right now was like, we want to, You know, it's tempting. There's temptations. It's the
There's
weekend. We live in Las
always.
Vegas.
It's Saturday. We'd much rather be out with our friends or guys, you know,
but we're
finding
like,
a
let's
hookup,
transmute
like,
this energy and create.
Exactly.
And putting that energy into this, we're going to get that back in a better light versus like going out and doing that and what that's going to bring in. So I just wanted to make that point.
Because it's true. I mean, we do live in a society where people are really... And it's like what you're saying, they just don't have any other way to fill the void. So they use sex or drugs or whatever. And I know we've said this a million times, but it's just important to recognize that within yourself. If you are, you know, feeling down or whatever, and that's how you choose to deal with it, then it's not... I don't know, it's not going to come back and reward you. Like, there are other ways to transmute that energy, and finding that outlet will really save you a lot of trouble.
It's going to take, like, obviously, you have to go through the experience to learn from it. So I'm not saying, like, hookups are going to happen, you know what I mean? You said they're going to happen, but
the younger you are when you find your thing, the less...
You have to go through that, because I've got, like, it took me some time, and I just feel like... No, there's a few bodies that I just be like, did I really need that? You know, like, I'm just gonna be honest. I'm just gonna be so honest. I'm being really honest in the video right now about my insecurities, all this stuff. But like, there's a few where I just like, I did a lot, or like, I don't know. I don't regret it, but it was just like, I feel like I could have saved myself a little bit of time and a little bit of like,
I feel
stress and turmoil. I just took on it because it's an energy exchange. Sex is an energy exchange. So like,
huge,
I feel like I was just taking on extra
exchange.
energy that I didn't need. You know what I mean?
I mean, it is the energy exchange of all energy exchanges. Like, you have to really take that into consideration. Like, I was kind of upset about this guy that I was seeing here for a little bit when I first moved back here, and then I kind of had a realization where I was like, you know, I probably shouldn't be so upset about this person or like be trying to get him back, because he's a very low vibrational person. Like, he does a lot of cocaine, he gambles all the time, like, he, you know, and I mean, not to say he doesn't have other things together, he has his life together, he's doing great, but like, that's his outlet, coke and gambling. And I think for me, I'm just looking for someone to match my energy with like having healthy outlets. And so by having that strong energy exchange with someone who's not on that path, like, I'm just lowering my vibration, and that's not meant for me. Like, no shade to him, like, you know, dick was bomb, but it's just not... I had this realization. What's crazy is I had this realization and I forgave him, and then he got his karma up, so it's all fine, it's all good and dandy. But like, I don't know, I think you have to take that into consideration. It's like that thing I sent you today. You should read that.
You have to be mindful of the energy that you're taking on. I'm not saying don't have fun and live your life, but everything, you know, the law of karma, like, you put it out, it's gonna come back. So you just gotta be intentional about everything, especially as women, because we're gonna harness it and hold it. We gotta be smart about our decisions and start young with them. So you're not 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 and up.
Still dealing with people's demons, because we were just talking about this. When you are, you know, intimately in a relationship with someone who has demons, you are carrying those demons now. Like, you have them too now. And you have to be particular about like what energy you let in. Energy
does not die, it can only be transferred. So it's like, if someone has demons and you're dealing with that person, where do you think their demons are gonna go? You know what I mean? They're gonna try to transfer into you and your situation, your life, and your life gonna start getting in shambles. So just be mindful and intentional about the energy you're letting into your life.
Absolutely.
And into your
box.
Yeah. I'm gonna read this real quick. She sent this earlier, and I just feel like every young girl, and dating, all of us in the newer dating
if you're not married, listen to this.
It says, stop falling in love so quickly and completely like you are 15. Like, stop being so immature and stupid. Just kidding. Learn to restrain your heart and allow your logic to vet him. Is he reliable? Is he kind? Is he good with money? Can I trust him with my heart? Will he make a good father? Ooh, I be asking myself that a lot now.
I ask that.
Will he make a good father? Can he lead? Does he complement the life that I want to build? Can he manage his anger? Ooh, take your time. That's what dating is for. We be like jumping into stuff, and you don't even know the whole person yet. Can he control his anger is one of the biggest ones, because that really shows you who a person is. Like,
what are they like when they're mad?
How someone handles their anger is going to tell you everything you need to know about a person. Like, that is a key giveaway. Like, you cannot say you love a person, you're in love, ready to get married until you've seen somebody angry, I swear.
I agree.
Because, like, oh my
People
gosh,
change.
oh my goodness. I've seen some crazy.
And the next thing you know, they're punching you. So.
Tea.
Oh, she's drinking water. I need the water. But yeah, no, it's real, and it's just important to, especially like that good father one, that really resonated with me because there was a blockage that I had in my last relationship, which I've been single for like 3 years, but the last guy that I dated, we were together for like 3 years, and there was always a block for me. Like, I watched him change and mold into this, like, loving man who was monogamous and, like, had never been in love before, had never thought of himself to be a monogamous person. Like, literally, I watched him change and mold for me. And at the end of the day, I just couldn't see him being the father of my children. I didn't think he would be a good dad. He doesn't handle his anger well, and he just has a lot of like low vibrational qualities, and I just never saw myself raising kids with him. And I want kids. Like, I'm a wife. I'm a wife. Like, I just want to be a wife. And I just want to be home with my kids, and I want to have the most hardworking, loving husband ever. And I'm such a wife, and I really think that a lot of women have lost sight of that and like desire to be that, and that's okay. If it's not for you, it's not for you. You know, there's something for everyone. But for me, I am like traditional female gender role wife. Like, I love everything about it. I love cooking, I love cleaning, I love tending to my man. Like, that is like where I'm at my happiest, and I don't know.
I feel like typically that's what most women want, but because you said, like you were saying in the beginning, we live in such a hyper masculine dominated kind of world now, where it's like, as women, we're not able to be soft like we used to be. So now we're kind of the man and the women in our lives. Like, we're just kind of more guarded and don't. Yeah, it's like, it's true.
Yeah. It's because we don't have men that lead. I need a man that leads, that leads without hesitation, that walks.
I need a man that leads with a good balance of logic and emotion. Yes. If you only lead logically, it's going to be hard for me to follow you because I'm an emotional creature. So you're going to think I'm tripping all the time, when it's like, I need a good balance of both. I need a man who has a healthy balance of masculine.
High EQ and IQ.
Yeah.
EQ, emotional intelligence. Yeah. IQ, logical intelligence. Very different things, both are needed. Yeah. They're needed. I literally have in my Hinge profile the green flags that I look for. High EQ. Like, that's one of the first things I list, because I just think men in general don't have high EQs. They don't practice that. They don't intentionally work on that. They don't intentionally listen to that side of their brain, and they are so scared to, because they're so their ego is so big and strong that they're scared to be vulnerable, and they're scared to be wrong and have to rethink things. But it's like, if you are intelligent and, you know, in your own way, and then you also implement emotional intelligence, like, it makes you such a better person, like, well-rounded person. You'll be able to handle your emotions.
You can be logical about it. When you can like validate my emotions and be like, okay, I understand you're feeling this and it's valid, but logically we got to move this way because that's how we're gonna move forward from this. I'd be like, you right, daddy. Where are we going?
The thing. All women, and I won't say all, but most women, I would say, really do want a man that can lead and to say, no, like, I've got this. Like, you don't have to. I've got it.
I don't want to use my brain.
Yes.
I just want to give you brain.
Tea. The tea right there. And I just feel like another thing that's like hard for me is I am such an emotionally intelligent person. I am also like intelligent. I like book smart. Like, I, you know, have studied just a lot of things, read a lot of books. I have a degree in biochem. Like, I understand the way the world works in a very in-depth way. And I need someone to match that energy. Like, I need someone to get it the way that I get it, so that when we walk, we can walk on the same path. And, like, I need someone to be able to really see and, like, protect me. Protection, I think, is the number one thing that I I really just like need to feel in a relationship. I need to feel like I'm always protected with you, and that I never have to worry when you're around. Like I just know you've got it, and I don't have to, you know. Because I can't protect myself, and God's always protecting me, and my angels are always protecting me, and that's great.
But your man should be that extra level of protection, because that's who you sleeping next to every night. And when I need to feel good. I need to feel someone come try to run up in his house. You got it. You know, we got
baby,
it.
where's
like,
your gun?
You taught me, you gonna lead. I'm gonna be right there behind you.
I don't have a gun, so you need a gun. Like,
exactly.
I don't know how to, I mean, I know how to shoot a gun. I've shot a lot of guns.
I'm more of a sword knife person. I kind of grew up where that's a different
Like, you got a machete under your belt? Oh, you do?
Yeah, it's right there. Yeah.
I'm like, wait, she does have a machete under the belt.
Okay.
Okay.
So that is it. We have tried to film this ending a couple times.
It's fine. That's the tea, sis.
That's the tea.
Be confident. Love yourself. Find an outlet.
Take your time on your journey. Don't rush your journey. Allow your brain and body to mature. You know, naturally in the way it needs to, you know? Just don't rush your process.
Yep, and if you haven't found that thing that puts you into flow state, don't worry about that either. It'll come along, and it's usually something that you're just naturally good at. The things that people tell you that you're good at, the things that feel good when you're doing them, feel good afterwards, you know? It's not easy to find, but I think if you're younger, it's easier. So try to start young, you know? If you're young and you're watching this, like, try all the things, you know, just try everything, try every sport, try every instrument, try all the types of dance, like, you know, I tried so many things growing up, and
same.
I didn't find anything that I was super passionate about until I was like 23, so it takes time for some people. For others, they know at 4 years old that they want to sing and play the drums like Cammie. But not everyone can be Cammie Kehoe. She's a fucking star.
Shout out to Cammie Kehoe.
Yeah. Anyways,
make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe.
All of the above. Support us in any way you can.
Our social media links will be linked in the description box below. Both of our Instagrams, Twitters, TikToks, all of that.
All of it. And you can find us anywhere. Tea with D&G.
Tea with D&G.
Hey,
That's the tea.
That's the tea, sis. Cheers. And that's all, folks.